All right, welcome back everybody to the mindset class. This is module 6. We're going to be talking about the magic of real estate when it comes to investing strategies. So a few important things to learn here. Let's go ahead and dive in. As usual, I need to share a disclosure with you. I am not a licensed attorney, accountant, financial advisor, real estate broker, real estate agent. I'm not any licensed individual. So I am not giving you personal counsel. This is just for educational purposes so that you guys can go out and hopefully do, what I've done or part of what I've done or more than what I've done. I've just had a lot of success with the strategies that I'm sharing with you, and I just want to share those things with you. Now, I want to start out with why I decided that real estate investing was the investment category that I wanted to apply in my professional life. Now, as we talked about in the last module, there are 3 different types of investment categories. There's businesses, there's commodities, and there's real estate. I chose real estate for a very specific reason, and it was because it provides the most opportunity for return. And that can be broken down into an acronym called IDEAL. Real estate is the ideal investment. So let's break down that acronym. The I stands for income. This may be massive or passive income, and we'll break that down in the next slide, but it may be a scenario where it provides you income one time, like a flip, where it's a lot of money all at once, but it only happens once, or it can be something that provides you with a small amount of money but consistently over a large period of time, like cash flow on a rental. Real estate provides income. The D stands for deductions. There are more deductions for real estate than there are in any other investment category. It makes it very appealing, especially rental properties. There's so many deductions that we can take. We're going to cover that in our buy and hold class, so make sure you check out that class to get details on all the deductions. But just understand that there are more deductions in real estate than there are in any other investment category. So you want to be cognizant of the deductions that are available as you're going out and investing. And in my opinion, nothing offers better deductions than real estate. E stands for equity. We can build equity in real estate. Real estate, historically, over the last 200 years that we've been tracking data, real estate has only gone up. Now, it has little blips where it'll drop for a second, but then it always comes back and ends up growing over time. So equity is something that is amazing about real estate, and especially if we have leveraged real estate. If you've got a mortgage on a rental property, as you pay down that mortgage, every month it chips away some at the debt that you have on that property, which is just money that you're going to be receiving on the back end when you sell that property. So those payments, while a lot of it goes to interest, and believe me, in our speed banking course we talk about how to bypass a lot of that interest so that most of your money is going towards principal to take advantage of this E in the ideal investment acronym. Equity is created by paying down the debts that you have on real estate and separating the amount owed from the value. As that gap widens, that difference between the amount you owe and the amount that the property is worth is called equity. Now, the A stands for appreciation. Like I said before, real estate historically, without fail, over time and in the long term, appreciates. So even if there's a bad time, a lot of people lost a lot of money, and there were a lot of short sales that happened in the 2008 crisis. But if those people would have just held on or figured out how to hold on to their properties, they would have bounced back, and the properties now are worth more than they were before 2008 happened. So, appreciation is something that we gain as well. Real estate in the long term always appreciates. So that's something that we get to take advantage of. And then the L is one of my favorite things about real estate, and that is leverage. And I put real estate there, but what I meant was leverage. So L stands for leverage, which means that you can get loans. Banks are willing to lend money on real estate. I'll give you an example. You can't go into a bank and talk to a banker and say, hey, I've got a really hot stock tip. I want to go buy some stocks. Can I borrow $100,000? They'll laugh you out of the bank, right? And that's the business investing category. In commodities, hey, I want to go buy 100 tons of coffee. Can I borrow $200,000? Right? And they're going to laugh you out of the bank because no one's going to lend you money to go buy coffee on a speculation. However, you can walk into that same bank and talk to the same banker and say, hey, there's a $500,000 property down the street. I want to buy that property. Would you be willing to lend on it? And they would say, absolutely. Do you have any collateral? And you're feeling around in your pockets. You're saying, oh, you know what? I left my collateral in my other pants. But hey, can I use the property that I don't own yet that I want to buy as collateral? And they'll say, yeah, sure. Here, just fill out this form. You can use properties that you don't even own yet as leverage and collateral to be able to go out and buy real estate. You can use the equity and the appreciation that you gain from those properties to be able to get loans to go out and buy more real estate. You can use the income and the track record of the income from particular properties to go out and buy more real estate, right? To leverage to go out and buy more real estate. So I love real estate because it covers all 5 of these areas, and it is such a powerful investment tool. Now, I want to talk to you about the difference between massive and passive income. I brought that up in the ideal investment. Massive income versus passive income. It's important to understand this because we're going to dive into this concept a lot more in the next module. So the difference between massive income and passive income. Massive income are investments that pay out larger sums of money all at once. Usually it only pays you once, and oftentimes it has a little bit more management that goes into it than passive income does. Some examples of that are fix and flips or wholesales or businesses, right? Things that you go do once and they pay you once, but then that property will never pay you again. If you want to keep getting paid, you've got to go out and do it again. But the amounts that they pay you tend to be more than the passive income side. Now let's talk about the passive income side. So passive income are investments that pay out smaller sums of money consistently over time. Usually this continues to pay you in intervals over long periods of time. So things like rental properties, right? They tend to be lower management if you structure them right. Now, one of the mistakes of the employee mindset as they try to break into this idea of real estate investing, they're not approaching it from an educated standpoint. And I hear a lot of people say, yeah, but I don't want to be a landlord. Well, guess what? I've never collected a rent check. I've never evicted anybody. I've had people evicted from my properties, and I definitely have rent coming into my bank account every month. But I don't manage that. I hire property managers so that I can focus my time not on kicking people who are down on their luck out of their house, or out of my house, rather. But I focus my time on going out and finding that next property to continue to build the empire. All of the management of that, I pass on to somebody else, and I'm more than happy to pay them. People get greedy, right? They're saying, well, I don't want to have to pay the management fees. Well, if you want more money, just go get another property, right? That will pay you way more than trying to scrimp and save and waste your time, which is a much more valuable currency on the management side than if you just put out a little bit of money to have the management side handled for you. So some examples of passive income are traditional rentals, nightly rentals, automated businesses. Obviously, a lot of these examples that we talked about on both sides, the massive and the passive income side, we have entire courses dedicated to the strategies and the techniques and the tools that you need in order to go out and do those things. So make sure that you catch those classes if you want more information on any of those topics. Obviously, again, this is just an overview to help get your mindset right about what we're doing. So massive income versus passive income. So that's what I have for you in the magic of real estate. This was module 6. I'm looking forward to diving deeper into that massive income versus passive income in the next module, which is called Never Spend the First Dollar. This is probably my favorite module in this entire course. Module 7, Never Spend the First Dollar. So I'm looking forward to it. I will see you guys in the next module.